Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and take another big, deep breath. Reach your arms up into the air. Open up your channel into this new year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is 2025. Doesn't that sound good? I love it. And this is, if you haven't heard, what's called a perfect year, which means that it's something in the mathematics of the numerology and the fact that it's 25 and the multiples and all of that. So I don't know the breakdown, but let's just go ahead and say yes to it being a perfect year, an amazing year, an epic year. If you are here for the very first time at the Rise Your Year Epic Workshop, I am Sarah Cannell. I'm so excited to be your guide and your facilitator for today. I am a best-selling author and have the incredible gift of being the founder and head of Thought Leader Academy, where I have the amazing joy every single day of coaching incredible leaders, entrepreneurs, and coaches, helping together as we come together and helping our clients write best-selling books, go out and change the world through speaking, through thought leadership, through content creation. And if it's your first time ever joining us, I'm so honored and thrilled that you're here. We're all happy you're part of our family now. And those of you that are returning, we have done this workshop in some form for 21 years. 21 years, the 21st annual workshop. It's changed names at different times. It's been in person, it's been virtual, it's been all the different things. And some of you have been here really from almost near the beginning. So if you're returning, we celebrate you and welcome you. If you are here with a friend or a team member, we're so thrilled that you're checking this out. And I affirm that something extraordinary gets to happen for you starting right now, new in this year. How's it feeling so far? Like, let's all just take a breath before we even anchor and center into the transformational experience that we're going to have together today. How's 2025 feeling? What's the word so far that this is feeling for you? Is it feeling exhilarating? Is it feeling fun? Is it feeling overwhelming? It's okay. Whatever it's feeling. Ooh, we've got worthy and unbounded. Sherry, it's feeling heavy. So we get to shift that today. Hopeful, transformational, epic, educational, expansive, magical. Here's the good news. Whatever you are feeling in this moment is just energy. It's just energy. It's information. It's energy. And we're going to use whatever this year has felt like so far. We're going to use it to create epic success. Are we good with that? That we're going to use whatever. It's just energy. And we can use the Sufi mystics, who I love, Rumi and Hafiz and all of these Sufi mystics, what they talk about from centuries ago is that true leadership and power and enlightenment and joy and bliss comes from not attaching a meaning to any of the feelings. You know, we call it low vibration, high vibration. We say good feelings, bad feelings. But what if it's all life force? It's all emotion, energy in motion, and we can use whatever feeling is here to co-create the best possible future from that moment. That's the kind of year I'm excited to have. That's the kind of year I'm excited for us to have together. So we welcome it all in. We welcome it in, everything in. Whatever you're feeling right now as we start this new year is the perfect place for your transformation, your breakthroughs, your absolute expansion, abundance, positive impact, and success. Yeah. So, right, we're unlimited. All right, amazing. So I want to talk about, we're going to get centered here in a minute and go into a very experiential process. This is not a lecture. Thank God it's not going to be me just talking for 2 hours. We're going to do an experience. We're going to go on a journey together. And I'm going to take you through a process that is designed. It's the process I use at the start of every year. And we're going to go through a process to accomplish 3 key things today. Okay, so I'm gonna do a pop quiz at the end and we're gonna see how we did. All right, hopefully I'll remember. The first main thing that we're gonna do today is we're going to either intensify or create clarity. Who would like more clarity as you start this new year? Clarity on what it is you really want, what it is that's here for you, what it is that you're going to create, what it is that you're going to manifest. So one of the things we're going to be now, you might come in being like, Sarah, I've got a vision board, I've got goals, I've got spreadsheets, I know exactly what I'm here for this year. And then you're going to be honing that vision. Okay. So clarity. And then we're going to be doing some of our experiences are going to be around alignment. Okay, so they're going to be around aligning so we can have clarity on a vision. How many of you have felt times when you've been really clear on something you want to create, but you could tell you're not in alignment? What does that mean? Like you don't believe it. You don't feel confident. You don't think it's going to happen. You don't feel emboldened. You don't feel empowered, right? And then the third thing we're going to do is we're actually going to activate your vision for 2025. We're actually going to start the manifestation process right here today on this workshop. So how does that feel? How does that sound to you? Our goal today is to leave more clear, more aligned, and more activated, which is in momentum. And we're going to start the manifestation process right here today. I'm very excited. Yes, I am very excited too. Yes, Jan, Sarah, some of you put E for excited. If that's exciting to you, that we're fired up to be able to do that together today, I'm definitely feeling that. Okay, awesome. Awesome. All right. Now, we're going to get centered because it's really important for me when I do this work to not go in from a revved up mind, rational, logical place. Anybody else? Like if I create from up here only, I'm not having my best year. I can tell you that right now after doing this for 21 plus years. I know that what I really want to do is open to the greater vision. I want to channel the highest idea, intelligence, vision, genius, creativity, passion, clarity, and success. And then co-create that. Let my logical, rational mind, let all those parts of me come and align and serve that vision. So that's what we're going to be. And that's why it's not just talking. We're going to be creating together. We're going to be going through an experiential process. And I also want to let you know the sequence of things. So today is about this clarity, alignment, and starting. Think of it like a fuse, like a spark plug of the manifestation process. That's today. The week after next, January 13th, we are going to spend an entire week together. If any of you have anything on your vision this year that comes through today or that you already know that is about creating anything, a book, a talk, YouTube videos, marketing campaigns, blogs, articles, if you are creating anything as part of your vision this year, then I invite you to join me the week of January 13th, and we'll put the link in the chat. It is called the Best-Selling Book Bootcamp, but you can use it for any type of creative or content creation. And I am going to be giving you the forecasting for 2025 that I've spent the last 3 months immersed and obsessed in researching, so that you'll know whatever it is that you're creating this year in your business, in your creativity, in your art, that you're going to know what is going to move the needle, what's going to create breakthroughs for you and others, what's going to be magnetic and bring you success. So even if you aren't doing a book or you've done a boot camp with us before, definitely register for this. You don't have to attend live. We'll send you the replays every day, but so that you get the strategies to empower whatever vision it is that you are working on that comes through today or that you've been feeling. Okay, so that's the week we're going to do today to get it started. We're going to be together the week of the 13th, Monday through Friday that week, and I'm going to coach you every day and give you the forecasting and the playbooks to create magnetic, revenue generating content of any kind this year. Okay. And then on the 22nd of January, it's a big month, got 3 parts. On the 22nd of January, this just came through over this last week to me. I'm going to be doing an additional masterclass called Game Changing Leaders. And in that masterclass, I'm going to show you the 3-part process I use to go the distance and make the vision board your real life. Okay. And that's really important because we can't cover it all today. I would love to do it all in one day, but we can't. And that's also better for our brains to get into it. So everything that I've just mentioned is free. It is my gift. It is my team and my gift to you for this new year so that we start this year in such a powerful place. And make sure that you register for the Game Changing Leaders workshop as well. We'll put that link in the chat too, because That is the first time I've ever taught this masterclass, and there's some really important new brain science techniques that I'm going to share with you. So those are there for you. Just make sure you register for those things today so that you get all the reminders, the replays, all the good stuff, and we'll be able to support you through the whole month. And by the way, Wednesday, January 22nd, when that is coming up, is the day between that and February 1st when 92% of the world quits on their vision. 92% of the world will quit on their vision by the time we meet for that third. So that's why I'm placing it there very intentionally and why we're doing the sequence. So we've got 3 parts. Put 3 in the chat if you're in. If you're like, I'm in, we're going to spend the month together and we are going to be powerhouse leaders this year who are going to go all the way. All right. Awesome. I'm so excited. Again, everything's free. Just make sure you register today so you get everything. Now, let's take a deep breath. Let all that logistical stuff go. And let's drop into this moment. For the rest of our time together, we are going to be in a portal. We're going to go through this portal and we are going to enter the vortex of the most epic year of your life so far. And I know and recognize in this moment, right here and right now, that right where we are here for a purpose, with a purpose, on purpose. And that purpose is your power, your vision, your contribution, your rise, your expansion, and your legacy. And I affirm that by participating in this experience today and the others that we will have this month, that this is the moment when you make the big leap. This is the moment when you let go of everything that has been holding you back, and that you enter into the greatest, most prosperous, most fun, most adventurous, most bold, most creative, most genius, most fun, most passionate, healthiest, happiest year of your life so far. I claim this is here for you. This is what life wants for you. And I affirm each of you today receive clarity, alignment, and activation in your vision. What you are seeking is seeking you. And this is a year of miracles. So I claim that by showing up here today and participating in this, that's what happens for you. It is done. It is done. And if you want to give that and so it is, or a stretch, or an amen, or a yes, or a woohoo, whatever feels good for you is perfect. It absolutely is perfect. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready to do the work in quotes, because it's not work, it's fun? Are we ready to go through the portal into the greatest year of your life so far? Yeah, of course we are. That's why we're here. Let's do it. All right. So everyone will want something to write on. This is my brand new Living My Best Life journal. All right. You will want something to write with. I have my favorite new pens, these kind of ink fountain pens. All right. If you want to type instead of write, that is totally cool. Just make sure you have either a blank screen or a notebook or a journal or a piece of paper or something to work on. We also have a workbook for you today. We will put that in the chat, and you can use the workbook if you'd prefer to type in what we're going to go through, or you can use the workbook after, which is what I do, and transfer my answers, because I like to handwrite this stuff. I get different inspiration, accesses different parts of the brain, and we will email the recording and the workbook to all of you. All right. So I am going to take us through a series of prompts and brain science-based questions that are going to help us open up to the greatest and highest vision of our year. Couple things, if you're new to this process, you can't do it wrong. I'm going to be bringing in some questions from Michael Beckwith's visioning process. If you've seen the movie The Secret or know him, I will bring in some of my own that have downloaded to me over the years. And we are going to go through this experience together. You cannot mess it up. You can't get it wrong. You already know what you desire and you already have the clarity. It is within you. So these are simply designed to bring it out and bring it in. All right. So that's the good news. We can just kind of, let's all take a, I also invite you for this very first part to let go of what you think the year is going to look like and just be open to potentially things beyond what you've already imagined or different things than you've imagined. We are going to integrate the soul, vision, the heart desires, and our brilliant minds with our bodies in these visions today. Okay, so every part of you is going to have a voice and be able to share what it wants. All right, so whether you are already super clear on your year and this is about getting that affirmation, or whether you are coming here like, I haven't had a minute to myself to even think about it, it's going to work. All right, so you just get to relax and receive. In these first set of questions, I'm going to invite you to imagine you're even just taking notes and listening, almost like if a best friend said, would you just take notes and, write down what you think, right? So we're not having our agenda on anything yet. We're going to open up the channel to listen in and receive what wants to come through. Okay. And if you just want to do it with your notebook and not look at the workbook yet, that's perfect. Right? I'm going to walk you through every single second of this. Right? So go ahead and close your eyes if that feels good, or you can do a soft open eyes, gaze forward. And I'm going to ask a series of questions and then give us all time to sit and receive answers. Now, if answers don't come when I ask the questions, don't be concerned, because in my experience of over 20 years of doing this practice, they will come. Sometimes they don't come right when I ask the questions. You are opening the door. You are walking through the portal by asking, and they will come. They'll come later during the workshop, or they'll come at another time later in the coming hours, days, and weeks. Okay. So can we put a yes in the chat if we agree that you will have the clarity you desire? It's here for you. And some of it might come now, some of it might come later. It is done. It is assured. I've never done this work with someone and they didn't get clarity. We stick with it. Okay. And you're going to have the recording and the workbook to go back through this as many times as you want to. All right. So here we go. So I recognize in this moment that we are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, that there is a highest vision for every single person here, and that we are now consciously one with the highest vision for our lives. And as these questions are asked, the door is open, we walk through the portal, we enter the vortex of our most epic year, and these answers begin to flow. We just relax, we release, and we open to whatever wants to come through. Go ahead and open your heart even a little bit more. Open that channel. Let in the light, the clarity, the guidance, the vision. And then we just ask universe, life, source, what is the highest vision and idea for my life this year? We're going to start just for 2025. So you're going to ask this to yourself. What is the highest vision and divine idea for my life in 2025? Okay. And then you can breathe and just write down anything that comes to you. Keep taking deep breaths and just over and over, what is the highest vision and divine idea for my life in 2025? You're doing great. And feel free now to zoom in on any particular areas of your life that you would love to see the highest vision for. So you could say, what is the highest vision for my finances in 2025? What is the highest vision of my relationships in 2025? What is the highest vision for my creativity, my leadership, my health? So just take a tour through the areas of your life that you most want clarity on and ask the highest vision and divine idea for this area of my life. Just take another moment here, opening up wider and wider, the highest vision and idea for my life in 2025. And now take a deep breath, remembering you're opening the door, whatever's coming through. It might be affirmation, it might be something new. You might just be opening the space. It's all perfect. And now we're asked, what does the universe want to do through me this year? What does the universe want to do through me in 2025? You might get the same things that just came through. You might get something new. You spend a few minutes there. What is the highest vision the universe has to do through me this year? Just another moment here, opening up. If you want to stretch your arms, what does the universe, what does life want to do through me in 2025? Great job. Take a deep breath. You can spend more time on any of these questions if you want to. Now envisioning, we always ask, what must I release to allow the greatest manifestation of my vision this year? What must I release? This might be a habit, a thought pattern, a limiting belief. It might be just something that's taken up your time. It's not as awesome as what life wants to do through you. So just take a moment and ask, what must I release to have my most epic year of my life so far? Then take a big, deep breath. And now, what do I get to embrace, embody, and become to allow the complete manifestation of my vision? What do I get to embrace, embody, and become? This might be a quality like discipline or like possibility. It might be an action. It might be a mindset, a new belief. Brandy says commitment. Yeah. So what do I get to embrace, embody, and become that will allow my vision to manifest? Is there anything else I need to know now? Anything else I need to know now in this moment that will empower and activate the highest vision for my life? So this is just a little PS from the universe, right? Just see if anything comes through, anything else that is useful to know now. So take a big breath here. Let's stretch. Oh, and just give yourself a hug. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little good job pat on the back. And we're just going to take a moment to journal any insights. Okay. You've been in a state of receiving. And so just notice what you notice. Okay. If there's anything else you want to journal on, we are just starting this process. This is just the very first technique. So just observe what you're noticing so far, how you feel about it. We'll do that for about 1 or 2 minutes. So now take another deep breath. And relax. We'll pull the music down. Okay, so before we go into our next technique, I want to just let everybody check in with each other, with yourself. How was part 1? So you're just feeling into our goal today, as we discussed, is going through a portal into the vortex of the highest vision of your year. And we're working on clarity, alignment, and activating the vision, right? So did anyone feel surprised by anything that started to come through? You can put an S in the chat. If anything surprised you, it was like, oh, I wasn't thinking about that, right? Or that's interesting. That wasn't in my vision yet. Yeah. Sometimes when I do this process, there's a little bit of surprise. Sometimes, like Christina's saying, she got powerful words, right? Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's images, sometimes it's hearing, sometimes it's just a feeling. Did anyone feel affirmed? So put A in the chat if you felt like, yep, this is what I think, this is what I was thinking about this year. And I felt some affirmation, like Alex, you said you feel like you're on the right track. Beautiful, right? Sometimes it's something we hadn't been thinking about, and it's surprising. Sometimes it's an affirmation of what we're thinking about. Does anyone feel a little bit more clear? Like, I feel a little more clear on what I'm going to be up to this year. You can put a C in the chat, and we're just checking in. We're observing, we're opening. Okay, awesome. Awesome. And remember, we have a whole process together. So it's cool if you're not yet. It's all good. All right. So let's take again belly breath and do a ah, make an audible sigh, release your jaw. Just we're gonna notice if there's any clenching. Does anyone feel fear? Like, oh, but I didn't get what I was thinking about wanting, that, you know, that's not what came through. Or sometimes we can vision and think, oh, it wasn't like everything I was thinking of. That's not what showed up when I asked these questions. Does that mean that I'm not going to write my book or go on this trip or meet this person, or right? So you can put an F in the chat if you put lowercase, because we're not given that any power, but we do get to acknowledge it, right? Because we don't want to suppress anything, or, you know, or hide from anything, right? So if you felt a little bit of fear, that's normal. That's okay. It's absolutely okay. Now, what I developed for the next technique is because I used to feel some fear. And when I did a visioning, and if I didn't get all the things that I was like feeling in my heart, I would feel some fear energy come up. So I created this next practice, not only to be the antidote to fear, but even more excitingly, we're going to now drop into our hearts, and we're going to connect with the energy of desire. And the prompt that we're going to use, this is in your workbook, is what I really, really want is. What I really, really want is, this is the time when we get the first part, we were receiving and listening. Now we get to give rise to what is within us, our own desires. What I really, really want this year is, and you might write one thing over and over and fill a page in your workbook or your journal with that. Or you might write all kinds of things, and you have this whole beautiful buffet of delicious desires that you have for the year. Only caveat to this is no censoring. Okay. If a party goes, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. Oh, you can't have that. Oh, you don't deserve that. Or that's not possible. Nope. Nope. Bye-bye. Nope. Not allowed in here right now. We're visioning together today. Okay. So can we agree? Can I get a yes? If you're willing to really, really, really let yourself say what you want. This is an act of courage. It is courageous to actually say what we want and write it down. But I'm inviting you to be courageous. We're going to be courageous together. All right. Strength in numbers. All right. So we're going to take a few minutes. And maybe, Jill, let's play maybe some instrumental piano. And let's let ourselves drop into our heart. So I want everyone to do it. 3 deep breaths from your head into your heart. 1. And another breath, dropping even more. It doesn't matter what it's been like up until now. You get to have it into your heart. And to keep breathing through this exercise. And we're going to just fill up a line or a page with what you really, really want this year. Yes, Brandy, the question is, what I really, really want this year is. Let's go for it. So remember to go big and small. Could be little things, it could be huge, epic things, everything in between. What I really, really want this year is, let your heart speak. Okay, once again, big breath, big stretch, opening your channel, saying yes. You can even put your arms in a Y shape, saying yes to your heart's desires. Yes to this being so awesome and so abundant and so fun and feel so good. Yes, giving yourself that yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so good. Amazing. Okay, so how did that one feel? One word in the chat. How did it feel to allow yourself to really sink in and open your heart and say, this is what I would love this year? Felt it focused and expansive and real. Beautiful job. Great job. Generative. Okay, so let me give you the science and the reason I include this. I already said because it can dissolve if we have any of those fears about not letting all the parts of us say what I want. But the thing that just makes me most thrilled about this technique is that desire is a causative energy. And I have been experimenting with this on myself and those of you in Oracle in our mastermind. And some of our thought leader clients know this because we've practiced it in our sessions. So when we focus on desire and we don't get in the way, we will very, very quickly manifest whatever that desire is. Because guess what? The desire was placed there by the universe. What you are seeking is seeking you. And what you want is what life wants to give you. Now, we get in our head and we come up with all these reasons why we aren't good enough, worthy enough, something enough to be, do, or have the things we actually desire. But people like David Bayer talk about this on his podcast, desire plus non-resistance equals manifestation. So I've experimented with this over the past 18 plus months. And the more times that I can just feel the desire, and I'm going to have a lot of techniques for you to do this over this month of January at our 3 events. So make sure you come to everything so I can support you in this. But when we can get out of the freaking way, right? It accelerates and allows itself to come into fruition. But we have all these stories about we shouldn't want what we want, or we're not deserving of what we want, or we can't have what we want, or the da-da-da-da-da, right? Did anyone have any of that come up? Like while you were writing, maybe you were just in the bliss of wanting it, but did anybody kind of feel like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So allowing ourselves to just, so think about desire as causative energy. It's so powerful to just say, this is what I want. And we've experimented in our Oracle Mastermind with this very consciously. When we focus on just cultivating the feeling of desire, which you just did through this prompt, you could do this every morning. What I really, really want today is I really, really want to enjoy food. I want to move my body. I want to have really loving, high vibe connections. I want to make a difference for at least one person. I want to make progress on my book, like fill in the blank, right? What I really, really want from a year or a day. When we even generate the feeling of desire, not the thought of it, the feeling of it, we are in the manifestation process. Remember, one of the things I committed that would happen today is we would actually start the manifestation process. You've actually done that through this technique. What I really, really want is, and Rosalind, David Bayer is the one. He has a podcast where he just took it from Abraham and Esther Hicks, but David, I think it's Bayer, and desire plus non-resistance equals manifestation. That's from Abraham Hicks, and it's from the, Tao Te Ching and the Buddhists, and, it's not new, right? But we don't do it, right? And so I got this really powerful download a few years ago, like start focusing on desire as much as any of the other, feeling states. And that alone will accelerate your intuition. It'll accelerate synchronicity in the people, places, and things that are going to help you manifest your vision. Isn't this exciting? So D for desire, if you're willing to make this part of your practice in 2025, whether you want to use this particular prompt or another, what I really, really want is. And what's so cool about this is you don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe you could deserve it. You don't have to believe you can have it. You don't have to have faith. You don't have to have anything. You can actually use the energy of desire to manifest without needing all that other stuff that sometimes takes a minute to get ourselves all lined up, right? Okay, awesome. Well, I'm excited. That's great. And there's also a great book, The 4 Desires by Rod Stryker. That's another great book. Okay. We ready for more? Let's rub our hands together. Let's balance out, prime the right and left hemisphere of the brain. Oh my gosh, Jenny Ray, you're on day 4 of a 10-day water fast. Doing this oh wow. This exercise removed the hunger and headache. Yes. I love that. And Jen, you've been learning about human design and your authority with following desire, not overthinking. Freaking awesome. Yep, there we go. You all are amazing. I knew we were having an advanced group today. So this is so cool. All right, we're ready for more? Yep. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take all the things that maybe came through in your initial visioning questions, all the things that came through your heart's desires, right? Anything you came into this workshop already knowing that you wanted, right? Anything you've already been thinking about for the new year, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to write our epic vision statement. Okay, your epic vision statement. Now, how do we do this? This is basically just a sentence or a couple of sentences where you're going to write your vision for this year in the present tense. Not every single, January, February, March. We're just going to write a vision, and you're going to write it in the I am so, you can use the Bob Proctor language. I'm giving homage to all of my fabulous teachers. I'm so grateful and happy now. Okay, I'm so grateful and happy now that in 2025, I wrote a best-selling book, gave a TEDx talk, impacted 200 new people and helped them transform their fill in the blank of what you do, took a trip to Taiwan, got really present with the people in my life that I love, really like connected with them, was present with them. Right? So you're going to write this statement, and it is in your workbook if you want to do it in there. I am so grateful now that in 2025, okay, and then just let yourself kind of summarize. This is where we're going to coalesce. This is part of the honing and the focusing and the aligning. I'm just going to write yourself a little statement. Yes, already happened. We're not hoping, wishing. It's already happened. I'm so grateful and happy now that 2025 was the most epic year of my life, and I'm just going to write it as if it's already happened. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to just take a deep breath here. Breathe in, stretch. You can continue pulling your highlights together. I'm so grateful and happy now. Now do a scan. Remember, we're doing somatic work today too. How does it feel? How does it feel to write, I'm so grateful and happy now, and to claim these things that you're excited about, that your desires, that the universe is wanting to do through you? Just check in with yourself. How does that feel to write this in a statement? And you can put that in the chat if you want to. Yeah, Carissa, powerful and emotional, energizing, Elizabeth. Beautiful. Clear and grounded, excited, freeing. Yes, the year of the snake, as Carissa brought up, right? We're shedding. I love snake minutes. It's one of my totem animals. I'm very excited about this. It's so powerful, energizing and big. Yeah, so good. Okay, amazing. You are all doing an awesome job. All right, now your homework from this is to put this into some kind of a statement that you want to read and post somewhere where you can see it regularly. Okay. So if you want to put that on, just if it's a really short one and you want to put it on a post-it note or an index card, if it's longer and you want to print it out or write it out, maybe you're going to incorporate it. We're going to talk about vision boards here in a few minutes, right? So just, you can kind of have this somewhere. It can be extremely powerful to read this, to see it, to affirm it. And what I love about the process, where the subconscious mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality, or future and present. It's not designed to differentiate in that way. And that is such an awesome thing, because we're going to create a tipping point where your subconscious and conscious mind just sees this enough times and just say, oh yeah, that's my life. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that great? Oh, that's my life. It's so great, right? And the subconscious responds to repetition and imagery. We're doing repetition now by putting your vision statement into somewhere where you can read it, see it, look at it regularly. And in your workbook, I linked, thanks to Jill, we linked the episode of my podcast episode, The Rise, where I give you the full strategy around writing your goals, running your finger over the goals, evoking. There's a whole neuroscientific process that I use around goals, and it's linked in your workbook on the last page. So you can go back if you want to and really use this to go much deeper and kind of activate more than we have time to do here, but we've linked that for you in the workbook, okay? All right, now, you've done an amazing job because we've opened up wide to what does the universe want to do through me. We've brought in the desires we already had coming into today. We let our heart speak about what we really, really, really want, not what we should want, not what we think is possible. And now we're starting to formulate this in a vision statement. Mine's not all the way coalesced yet, so I'm going to spend a little more time on that this afternoon. All right. Now what we want to do is identify your big, what I call the big three. I find this really, really, really helpful to know what the big, like of all the things I want this year, what are the big three? This is going to be crucial, not only to help us focus, but also to prioritize what we're going to do with our time, our energy, our resources, right? So of all the cool things on your, I'm grateful and happy now, I'm going to invite you to pick your big three. Now, I always get this question. Taught this workshop for 21 years, this masterclass. And one of the questions I always get, what if I have five? Is that anyone here? Are you going to be one of the people asking, what if I have five? Yeah, it's cool. Okay. You can pick your big five. I actually don't have mine down to three. I have four and I like odd numbers. So I'm going to probably do a big five for 2025. Kind of like the sound of that. Big five in 2025. Okay. I'm not here to be a teacher of your, grade school. You do the ones you want. I don't recommend any of us do more than five, because if we do, we can start getting very distracted and it can start feeling like we're not going to get traction with any of them. So somewhere between 1 and 5, we're calling it the big three because most years I force myself to get it down to 3. All right. And you're going to pick your big 3 or your big 5 or whatever it is. And I want you to define them. Now, this isn't about, you need to say it in the present tense. It's just, yeah, personal and professional, Jen. That's why I needed the 5. Exactly. Okay. So you can focus just on your professional life, your creative life, your personal life. Again, it's your choice. This is your masterclass. But I want you just to write them bullet point form. Publish my next best-selling book. If you have a revenue goal, this is a great place to put that. I always choose a revenue goal for the year. So if you're like, this is my first 6-figure year, this is my year I step into 7 figures in sales, 500,000, whatever your number is. Okay. So you can have a revenue goal. You can have, so your big 3. This is like, no matter what, if it's a year from now and these 3 things happen, I am freaking thrilled. All right, let's take a minute and work on that. Okay, put a 3 or a 5 or a 4 or whatever number you chose in the chat if you've got this, if you know what are your main, like, no matter what, these are the ones I'm going all the way for. Okay, beautiful, gorgeous. And I realized I could link some of mine, so I have a version of 3. Okay, cool. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, awesome. So just give yourself another yes, reach up, make your arms into a Y, say yes, yes, yes to these goals, yes to this happening, yes to this being done now. Yes. Okay, gorgeous. Great job. Amazing job. You guys are doing awesome. All right. So now what we're going to talk about is making it visual. So a few minutes ago, I shared, right? The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. You've probably all heard this a million times by now. And it responds to repetition and imagery. This is why we might use things like affirmations. This is why we do things like vision boards. So the next part I'll show you in the workbook here. All right. So on page 5 of your workbook, did that come up? If you guys just give me a thumbs up if you can see something on the screen there, it'll be more clear on yours. So we're going to make it visual. All right. So we gave you some ideas in your workbook, and I'm going to walk you through these now. Did it show up though, you guys? I know because it's a PDF. If anyone who's on camera, like Rumi or someone that I can see, can give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. So vision boards, right? That's my favorite way. I'm a vision board girl. I love them. I've been doing them for over 2 decades, and I have had profound and powerful experiences. Sometimes things happen within that 12-month calendar year of my vision board. And sometimes, does anyone have something that you started in 2024 that's not all the way completed yet? I've got a couple on mine that are built, they're a multi-year vision, and that's totally cool. It doesn't mean the vision board didn't work. It doesn't mean any of that stuff, right? It just means like maybe it's divine timing versus, our 12 months. Okay. So vision boards, right, are really powerful. I'm going to ask everyone to pick one of these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that I'm going to share with you to make your vision visual. And this is because, again, the subconscious mind responds to repetition, which you'll get by looking at whatever it is that you are creating visually. Yeah, I'll pull it up, Amy, as I walk through those. Thanks for letting me know that. And then the second one, the second thing is repetition, because you're going to see it, but also imagery. Right? It doesn't respond, the subconscious mind doesn't respond to us just going, I want to make $1 million. It's going to respond to seeing, right, you in the lifestyle of that $1 million or whatever it is. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, this is my giant vision board over here on the easel. It's colossally big, and I love it that way. And I make no apologies for it in any way, because I am here to have a big year and a big life. And so you might want to do a vision board. You might want to do a digital vision board. Okay. So that just means you might put together on Pinterest or, something on Canva. You can do, there's whole vision board, templates on Canva that you can do. So there's all kinds of ways that you can make your vision board. Yeah, big vision needs a big board, Tanya, right? Okay. You might do a little vision board and it's perfect for you. There's no comparison. There's no comparison in visioning. All right. That's a ego game. That's a BS game. Comparison is, just, yeah. So I love a foam core board, and I like using actual magazines and catalogs. I do print some things out from online because if I can't find what I need, but I love going to a bookstore and getting a stack of gorgeous magazines and catalogs and things that I've saved. And then I pull those, and then basically you're going to be, you might be, cutting out. Yesterday, I spent time cutting out the images. That's my board from last year that I just showed you. And today I'm going to be putting down the images for the new board. Okay. Because I wanted to do this process one more time. All right. So that's a vision board. You can just cut out, like you can go seeking the things you're actually looking for. Like if you're going to take a trip to, Portugal, you can go and find pictures of Portugal, or you can be intuitive vision boarding, which is a really fun exercise where you sit there and just go through and look online or in physical things, and you just see what sparks. I do both versions. So I pull things I'm specifically excited to create and manifest. And then I do intuitive vision boarding, which is where I also include things that make no sense whatsoever to me. I don't know why I'm putting it on my board. It's like, why am I putting this, why am I putting this random like orange circle? I don't know. For some reason, I'm drawn to it, and I'm going to stick it on the board. And what's so fun is then throughout the year, you're going to find out why that's on the board. So I shared this, right? A client a number of years ago came to this workshop in January, and she put this old style phone, like a rotary phone, on her vision. And she was like, this is so weird. I don't know why. And she almost didn't put it on. And she thought, I have no idea. I like modern technology. I'm not like looking for antique. I don't know why, but she put it on there. And 2 months later, she found out her company was being sold. They got downsized. She was, asked to leave her job. And she thought, well, this sucks. This is awful, but okay, I know that one door closes, another opens. I'm going to go for a new job, and I'm actually going to go for something I like more, that's more aligned for me, that I make more money. So we were doing all this coaching work around this new job she was manifesting. And she found a number of positions. She was interviewing. It was taking its time, but she kept the faith. She was focusing on her board of abundance and more income and more fulfillment. And she gets down to a final round interview in this one job. It was between her and another candidate. And they said, you need to meet with the CEO. Will you come in? They flew her to the place. She walks in, and he had that phone on his desk, the exact phone from her vision board. Like, and she just knew in that moment, she's like, this is my job. And she had like a confidence and a conviction that happened in that interview that landed her that job. She said, when she saw that phone, it was like, oh my gosh, I could sit here and tell hours of stories of people that have been to even this exact workshop and had these crazy synchronicities and things that feel like miracles over. So I invite you to also, yes, put down everything you want, every place you want to travel, new home if you're getting a new home, the abundance you want to create, the fun you want to have, all the health, the strength. I've got a really great picture over here of a woman just like lifting these amazing weights for strength training. So all that stuff, right? And I invite you, if you like this idea, put I for intuitive vision boarding. If you like the idea of also opening to things that don't make any sense yet, because isn't that the adventure? Then your vision board is a treasure hunt. I put a red Ferrari. I don't want a Ferrari. I've never wanted. I can't imagine ever wanting one. And I just kept seeing this car. I was like, I don't know why I'm putting this. And 6 months into the year, I met someone, and he said to me something about, he said, well, I think you're moving into a Ferrari phase. Like, it was about my accessing my power. And I just said, oh my gosh, I couldn't, it was like this, we had this whole conversation about, he's a medium and a channel. And he was like, you're going into a new gear, and you're going to finally let yourself like get on the road and show what you're made of, the power that you actually have in you. And it was so interesting. Like, I was like, why am I putting, I was like, maybe my son likes Ferraris. I don't know, but I put it on anyway. And then it was so extra powerful when he shared this beautiful message for me about saying, he's like, you've been driving like you're driving a Honda Civic, and you're driving a Ferrari. Get in gear, lock in, girl, and it was really affirming for me, and it meant a lot. Now, I'm sure sharing this story, it sounds kind of dumb because it doesn't, it's like it doesn't have the significance, but I had forgotten I even put it on the board. And after that conversation, I was looking at something else on the board. I went, oh my God. And the Ferrari was a metaphor. It had nothing to do with the car. And so it was super powerful. So I love that some of you are interested in using intuition, also meaning just like, I don't know why, but I'm getting a nudge, and I'm going to follow the nudges, and I'm going to put this on my board. I have like hundreds of clients I've coached that have had experiences like this. So let's both put the stuff we know and the stuff that is different. Okay. All right. Now, let's say you don't like vision boards. My husband and son, for example, do not like vision boards. They don't like it. We do this process as a family. We went out for our family lunch, and we did our visioning, and we go and write our goals. But what's so interesting is that you can find a different way, right? It doesn't matter if you don't like, I put their stuff on my vision board because we do a family vision board now. And then you might want to do a photo goals list. So what that looks like is you take your big 3 or your big 5 or your big 7, and you just find one epic picture that captures the fulfillment of that goal. And that's, instead of, you're like, I don't want to spend time and get magazines and look at stuff online. That sounds tiring. Doesn't sound fun to me. If it doesn't sound fun, it's out. We can make our motto. If it's not fun, forget it. All right. For 2025. Right. So you might want to make just pick those couple goals and find one image online of each one, and put that in a Google Doc and print that out, or put it, somewhere you can see it, right? Somewhere you'll look at it. And I love that some realizations are happening. All right. So you can do your goals list. All right. You can do a vision book. I have one. Did I bring it in here? I'll show you if we have time at the end. If you want to be travel and portable, you can take a journal, like a book, like, something like this, and you can just paste images in and write in your things and put an image there, and then you take it with you. Okay. Oh my gosh. Cindy's husband just got offered a new job, like right while we've been in the workshop. Yeah. I love it. Manifestation is happening. Okay. You can make 1 year. I just didn't feel like doing a board. I just needed a break. And I made a vision deck. And so I made a card like a tarot deck or an oracle deck of the things I really wanted in the year. And I made a little card for each one. And in the morning, I would just pick one. And that gave me some idea of what I wanted to focus on that day, right? It reminded me of what's exciting. So you might want to make a card deck, right? You might want to make a phone screensaver. And you might want to put the collage of your vision board on your phone and have that every time you open your phone, which is, 8 billion times a day if you're living in the modern world, right? It feels like, and you're going to see that. You might want to do what in advertising is called a hero image. Maybe there's just one picture that encapsulates the whole way you want to feel this year. Someone jumping off a rock into the gorgeous ocean. Those of us are going to Greece this summer, right? Like someone standing under a waterfall, someone, someone with money raining down on them if it's your year of abundance, right? So you could pick just a hero image. That's what advertisers do to kind of create like an advertising campaign. They pick like a hero image, which is the star image, and that is your phone screensaver. I love, Marietta, what you're doing, a photo album on your phone, add music and watch it. So that's your vision movie, right? They can be called mind movies, vision movies. So you can make a slideshow of the awesome things and then have that playing on your phone. What an awesome idea. Thank you, Marietta. Okay. So everybody picks something. Can I get a V that you're going to make some version of your visions visual? Okay. Lots of V's. So I want to see a V in the chat for everyone that is going to do some kind of visual representation of your vision for this year. Awesome. Awesome. It's really worth doing. And like I said, it does not have to take time. It doesn't have to cost money. You could literally pick a few pictures for your main goals, pop it on your phone, call it a day. All right. Or you could be like a nut job like me and do a giant enormous vision board. Yes, Jen, and you can combine it to music. I love the creativity that's happening here. Yes, Deb, you've never done this before. I'm so freaking psyched for you. Get ready. Buckle up. That's going to be great. Okay, amazing. Yeah, vision mural. It can be anything, anything at all. Okay, fantastic. Let's take a deep breath because we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a couple of other prompts that I ask myself, which have been crucially important to me activating and going all the way with the vision. Again, on January 22nd, I'm going to take you through a whole technique around this, much, much more in depth. But for today, I want you to ask yourself, what is the community and support that you are going to use this year to make your vision and goals a reality? What community and support are you going to use this year? Because remember, this is now proven in multiple studies. Your results this year will reflect the 5 people or groups with whom you spend the most time. That is from the amount of money you make, to the level of health you experience, to the level of joy and happiness. It affects our happiness. Yeah, Amy. So our results, when we say results, it's just like what happens in the physical world. Okay. So your financial amount of money that you make this year, the level of happiness you experience, the level of impact you make on others, your leadership, your health, all of these things will be determined by the 5 people or groups with whom you spend the most time. This does not mean that we abandon awesome people in our life if they're not a match for what we're doing. It does mean we want to add, okay, so this is not like abandon and replace, but add what I call your family of success. Okay, we need to add and make sure we are in the room virtually or literally or physically with people who are doing or have done the things that we want to do. And there have been years where I look at my list and think, oh, I'm not in that room yet. That's okay. That's going to be your homework for January. You're going to find that room. All right. So yeah, those of you hanging out here in Thought Leader Academy, we're in that community together, right? And a lot of us have done different pieces of the visions we're aspiring to do. So you want to be in the room with people who are going for and also some people, at least a mentor or coach or teacher or somebody who has done what you want to do in a way that inspires you. So Lisa, yeah, it's like, so if we're, and this makes a lot of sense, right? Like I was working at a really toxic job when I got out of college, working at an advertising agency. I've shared about this and written about it many times, where there was a lot of sexual assault and abuse and harassment. There was a lot of backstabbing. It was very, swimming with sharks kind of junk. And one of the things that a lot of us did is we had this thing like Tuesday nights was like where everyone would go to this bar in the lobby of the building where we worked and basically complain. The whole thing was like we go out and like get a martini and bitch about like everything that sucked about our situation. That is not going to change anything for the better, right? I know that now. We all know that now. We didn't know it now. I was 22 or whatever, and I had no idea. I didn't understand any of this. But think about how much that is just creating more of the same. And so what happened is I started, instead finding people that at least were having a conversation about personal growth. That was already a huge shift, right? Because it was like, hey, instead of us sitting here going, oh my God, this person's the worst and this person's evil and this place is the Death Star and blah blah blah. Well, we weren't changing anything, but it's like, oh, I started, watching Oprah Remember Your Spirit every day and going to the gym and, getting a journal and writing about my pain and writing about my desires. And, like that's going to start to move things in a different direction. So you want to be in, I call it high vibe for me, conversations with people who are like committed, going for it, playing big, whatever that is for you. Right. But if you're like, I want to really be into painting this year and you're not around anyone else that's painting, it's harder to do that. If you're going to be sober this year and you've been hanging out with a lot of people that are, getting wasted every night, that's not ideally the group for you to be in right now, right? That's why 12-step programs exist. It's like get in the room with people who are committed to a different decision, right? Read Christina's book for all help on that. Christina Niles is our guide for that. All right. So yeah, and maybe you just want to have more freaking fun and you're around people who are like everything is about work and and this and and struggle, right? So it's like, who are the people having fun? I want to be in people who are like about fun or adventure or like, like I remember there was a group of moms at my son's first school, and they would get together and they would like complain about their partners. And I was like, I am not coming to a single ever again one of these things. And of course, then I had no mom friends, but it was worth it. It was worth it because I didn't, that's not the kind of friends I want, right? I love my husband. I think he's awesome. I want to be in conversations with people who love their partners, who are, like being, empowering in their conversations, talking about cool stuff to do with their kids and, all that's right. We kind of get this, right? So what is your family of success this year? If you don't know, that's an awesome homework for January. You are going to start to look around and see where are people hanging out that are doing what you've done, what you want to do, or that have already done it. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So let's just take 2 minutes and just you're either going to journal on what are some new groups. Like you might not know where the people are gathering yet or they're doing what you want to do, but just write down like, I think this year I'm going to hang out with more millionaires because I really want to grow my abundance and I want to be around people who that's just their way of life. It's not I want to be around like high integrity millionaires, or I want to be around people that are like in their 50s in like nonsense, awesome physical condition. Like I want to get strong this year. So I want to be around other people who are like around my, in whatever your age group is and who are like kicking ass in physical fitness. Or I want to be around people that just are just incredible writers, and creators. All right. So let's determine even the categories of your family of success. If you're not quite sure where to find those groups, it's going to happen because you came here today and you put out that request. All right. So yeah, Jill, maybe some jazz while we do this, and let's make some notes on what is our family of success going to consist of this year. Okay, beautiful. So do we have some thoughts started on our family of success? Put FOS for family of success if you're starting to think about that. And yes, Elizabeth, exactly, exactly. And we're so excited for you all to be part of our family of success together this year. Those of you that are, continuing on with us are going to come to all our events here in January. And of course, those of you already as part of Thought Leader Academy, we're together every week. Exactly, Deb. Okay, amazing. So now what I want to do is I want to switch gears a teensy bit. It's not really switching gears, but I want us to go to the next level. And what we're going to do is I'm going to lead us in a very laser visualization, just a short visualization. And then we're going to build on that with something I've never taught at this workshop before. So there's certain things I ask myself every single year. I've been, doing this for 2 decades. And then there's always some new things that come in. And what we're going to do now is a little bit new. Okay. So what we're going to do is, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, if you don't, you can do a soft gaze, kind of looking down and forward. It will work also that way. And I close my eyes. It's definitely for me the easiest way for me to really feel and see this. Okay, so I'm going to guide us in a visualization and then we're going to build. All right, so if you want to just relax your jaw, relax your spine, relax your face, give yourself some shoulder rolls or move your neck from side to side. Just feeling yourself just get this yummy, feel this golden light of success and abundance, and joy and fulfillment, just going down, radiating down all through you, every level. Okay, beautiful. And so imagine we have just walked through the next portal and it's January 2026. And everything you wrote down and put on that vision board and wrote as your big 3 or big 5 goals, all of it has happened. It's your reality. Like what you saw is now in your bank account. What you envisioned your life being is what's filling your calendar. Your email inbox is full of all the opportunities and connections and relationships and abundance that you envisioned. It's now your reality. And I want you to notice what is different or better because of it. Okay. So I want you just to hear it, see it, taste it, touch it, smell it for a moment. What's different or better because you allowed all of this good into your life this year? So just breathe and be with that for a moment. Breathing and exploring, like you're just stepping into this new amazing life that you have. What is different or better for you internally, externally, financially, relationally, now that this is your life? And I want you now to zoom in on anything specific that you're wearing differently. Okay, I'm going to guide us through some. So is there anything different about the way that you dress? Is there anything different, better to you about any other area of your life? Just open up to it and look at it. Anything different or better in what you're doing? Actions that you're taking. Take a deep breath in. Bring a smile to your face. Okay, beautiful. Now, what we're going to do, just make a few notes. If you kept your eyes closed for that, just make if there were any particular things that stood out to you. you want to capture? Okay. Did anyone get something? You could visualize at least one thing that you were doing or wearing or carrying yourself or feeling differently. Just put me in the chat if there was anything that you could see was a little bit different than how you showed up here today. Okay, great. That's perfect. That's all we need is one little detail. And here's why. So I was working with a client a number of years ago, and some of you know this story. And she said what she really wanted to do was grow her business. And she was a real estate agent, and she wanted to use thought leadership, to grow her business. And we were working on that. And she said, when we did this visualization, she said, you know what? Every day I'm wearing Oprah outfits. And I said, Oprah outfits, like, what's that? And she said, Oprah outfits are like, she's like, when I used to watch the Oprah show, like everyone who came on, you could tell it was like they were wearing like something that just was really great, looked great on them, their very best, self. And she said, she had no interest in being on Oprah. That wasn't at all her vision. She wanted to really grow her business and just be a really impactful realtor. And but she said and she's like, I just, I wear a lot of stuff that feels frumpy. It doesn't feel like me, whatever. And so one of the first things we did in January of that year is she got rid of all her stuff, all the clothes in her wardrobe that weren't Oprah outfits, which was almost everything. And she kept some placeholders. And then she just, like, as she had the resources, she started finding outfits that really celebrated her beauty, her curves, her love of color, all these things, right? And she doubled her business in 6 months and tripled it in a year. Financial income, physical, tangible in her bank, triple the amount of money she was making because of this one first shift in her stepping into that new version of herself. Again, on January 22nd, I'll show you my system for, like, all the things, going the distance for the goals. But what I want you to know right now, this is proven in a study called Enclothed Cognition. Okay, enclothed as in clothes. Enclothed cognition is the reason that this had that type of effect for Anne, because what happened is Anne stepped into someone who was powerful, a powerful leader. She was generous. She was joyful. She stepped into an energy and a vibration of who she wanted to be. And that was what kind of, started that's what really started to shift things for her, just as a start. Now, if she just wore what she called Oprah outfits and never went out and like showed a house, of course, that would never have happened, right? It was a combination. But I want you to think about, so it might be like it was for Anne, something that you're doing a little differently that you're going to wear differently, right? It may be instead a feeling that you're going to cultivate. It's like, I just feel so freaking exhilarated. I just feel exhilarated. And so you're going to work on cultivating every day this month the feeling of exhilaration, right? And maybe you're going to start a new habit. Okay. So the new habit could look like something that your new self, so something that when I just did this visualization, something my new self does is she knows a lot more about financial investing than I do. Okay. So like when I think of that future me or whatever, so I'm not going to wait. See, we think I'm going to get the outfits when I've tripled my business. Anne could have said, I'm going to go get all the new clothes when I tripled my business or when I got to this certain level in realty. But the flip is what we actually get to do. What we do is actually change either the habit, the attire for Enclothed Cognition, or whatever it is. We change that, and then it actually propels the manifestation into form. We think we're going to wait to do the thing, get the blood, and we don't want to be, like spending money we don't have, right? That's not the point. That's not ever what we're being asked to do. But we can carry ourselves differently. We say, I'm going to feel exhilarated when I hit the bestseller list. Well, the freaky part is we got to feel exhilarated now, and that's going to motivate and help us and move the vision forward and give that magnetic energy to the book itself. All right. So we're kind of flipping the order here, but I promise you this will accelerate your manifestation because I've seen it over and over and over in my own life and in the clients that I coach. Okay. So maybe like for me, I'm not going to wait until I have even more money to invest to learn about the kinds of investments. Guess what I get to do in January? I get to start learning more about the next level of type of financial investing now. that is going to prepare me so that I'm available to receive that, right? So whatever it is, okay? Enclothed cognition, a habit change. I want everyone to pick, we're just going to call it all habits because how we dress ourselves is a habit, right? How we feel is also a habit. So I'm going to put this under the umbrella of habits. And I want us all right now to think of one new habit that the person who has achieved those goals that you just set for 2025 does. And I want you to pick one habit that you are willing to start today. Doesn't have to be every day, right? But I want one new specific habit that you saw when you stepped into the you that's already done these things. And if it's a feeling tone, I want you to define a practice that's going to generate that feeling tone so that it's specific. So Jackie, you said joy. Luna, you said pride. So what's a specific action you're going to take that's going to generate joy for Jackie or pride for Luna? Okay. So Isabel, if you're prioritizing rest, let's get specific now and think of something like I'm going to give myself a 20-minute quiet time every day at noon. I don't know. I'm going to take Fridays off. Right? Walking 10,000 steps a day. Love that, Jen, right? Smile. Gina's going to start using smiling. Quit scrolling Facebook and go to bed earlier, Amy. Exactly. Great. Beautiful. Right? Set a boundary. Okay. So super, super powerful to put, yeah, Christina, you're going to focus on eating anti-inflammatory foods. Isn't that great? I love that. I'm doing that with you. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. So what is something, and maybe it's a combination. I went through my whole closet last week and I eliminated everything that is not the vibration that I want to feel and the new identity that I'm stepping into for the year of my next level. And then I got to put all these gorgeous pieces that were still lovely, but that just aren't my next level self. And there's a women's shelter I really love here in Chicago that helps people who get to, leave an, abusive environment and start over. And then I'm donating all those pieces were beautiful work pieces and things that will get to really support someone in launching something new. Okay, so you can circulate in that way. So what are you're going to crack open your book manuscript daily. Brandy's going to, pride in how you show up on Zoom with how you're stretching your fashion style. I love that. Your morning checklist, Arlene, every morning. That's awesome. Mel Robbins, Let Them. Yes, I pre-ordered it. I love it. New great book. Okay. So do we all put H for habit? If you've identified at least one new habit that you're going to start today, not perfectly, it's a practice. Maybe we should even call it a practice, not a habit. Practice this new habit of abundance or joy or pride or whatever. Yes. Yes. Yep. And here's what I want to share. We're going to probably go over just a couple minutes. Hopefully you guys can stay for just a few extra minutes because I want to make sure we get to conclude things. Okay. But I want to share something exciting. When you make this new habit or practice non-negotiable, if you want to know how to, I'm going to give you on January 22nd a lot more of a structure around making your goal a complete reality. For now, I want you to know that when you make something non-negotiable, absolute magic happens. And here's how I want to share that. So I set a intention at the beginning of 2024 to speak to a new audience at least once a week, either being on someone's podcast, guest speaking in their group, going to speak at a conference, whatever it was, small groups, large groups, just that I was going to commit to making an impact through speaking once a week in 2024. Now, for the first half of the year, that was an intention I set. And I averaged 2 per month. Okay. So I did not consistently hit that intention. And I realized when I did my 6-month check-in, which we do here in this community in June, I said, that's interesting. I did not stay consistent yet with that goal. What would I need to do differently in order to do that? And what I realized I need to do differently is make it non-negotiable. It's like, instead of it being, this is an intention I have, it's a commitment. And when I made it a commitment, guess what? Right? Started speaking every week. And if I didn't speak somewhere, I couldn't find somewhere that was a good fit one week, then I did 2 a different week. I did a lot more speaking the second half of 2024 than the first. And the magic is this, that without me doing anything, just because of the structures and systems I put in motion, which again, I'll be coaching you on later in the month, January is already booked with more than one speaking engagement a month. I didn't do anything. I have a system now that's already in place, that's already locked in. I've already done different things. I used our, 6-part pitch that I developed for our Thought Leader Academy members. And the magic is that my January is already booked. I have more than one a week and it's already done. And so what I want to say for you is the new habit is not only going to get you, if you make it non-negotiable and make it a commitment instead of an intention, you're not only going to fulfill it and build that trust with yourself and feel powerful about yourself, but also the magic is going to kick in. Because now that just happened because I have a system now. It's a non-negotiable. I will be speaking once a week somewhere. And so it's not something I do if I feel like it, if I think I'm worthy, if I think it's hard, if I think it's easy. None of that matters. It's off the table. Okay. So just put C for committed if you're willing to make the actions that support those big 3 or 5 goals, commitments. Now, again, make sure if you are going to create anything this year, a book, a talk, a blog, videos on YouTube, marketing campaigns, stuff on social media, if you're going to do any kind of creating anything this year, please make sure you sign up. It is free for the boot camp the week of January 13th to the 17th, so I can give you a lot more on the strategy and the forecasting for what's going to make that successful this year. Okay, so put B for boot camp. If you're going to be joining us that week, if you can't come to those sessions live at noon Eastern, you will get them automatically sent out every single day. You'll get the replays, but I want to make sure you get the forecasting because we don't have time to do that today. And I want you to benefit from the research that's out and what's going on in various, industries and niches. If you're a coach, expert, entrepreneur, anything in that realm, okay? A leader of any kind, right? And then save the date for January 22nd, and Jill can put the link here again if we have it, or we'll email it out to you for Game Changing Leaders. That's the brand new masterclass where I'm going to give you the system to go all the way with your goal this year. This month, we got to get in motion, right? We've got to get in motion. So some of you have already done this, but I want to make, look, what's one action you're going to take by the time you go to bed tonight? This is how we always love to finish this. One action you're going to take before you go to bed tonight that moves your vision for 2025 forward. Let's all just pick, we picked a habit for January, and now we want to drill this down to today. Today, between now and when you go to bed, you're going to lay your head on the pillow going, oh my God, this year's off to a great start because I can trust myself. I am powerful. I am crazy. So you don't have to, if you don't want to share what yours is, you can just say 24, where you've got something you're going to pick for this first 24 hours. But if you want to share what it is and have accountability, all right, so some of you are going through your closet, your vision board. If you're signing up for the boot camp and the Game Changer Leaders, that's an action because that's going to make sure you get support this month to stick with this. We've got vision boards happening. You're getting the magazines for your vision board. Melissa's going to write for 30 minutes. I am going to 100%, I'm going to put my vision board together. And you guys, this is how generous Marietta is. Marietta is our chief strategist here at Thought Leader Academy, and she is going to offer any one of you that wants it. Anyone, whether you've coached with us before, haven't coached with us, you're in TLA, you're not in TLA, if you want to meet one-on-one and have Marietta sit with you and help you look at this vision for the year, whether it's articulating that vision statement, getting your next step for your action plan, and the link is in the chat. And Jill, if you can make sure that goes out with the replay. Thank you so much, Marietta. All right. So if you guys want to have some support, you're like, I don't know how to find my family of success. I don't know what the next step would be to hit this revenue goal or to do my book. All right. So make sure you book a session with Marietta. We will, until they fill up. So get it right now because I don't know how much time Marietta has. And there's 100 and some 50 between the replay and those of you on live that are doing this, that are doing this workshop this week. Okay. So grab a time so that we can continue supporting you today, We'll be together the week of January 13th, and then right away on the 22nd, so you'll have the puzzle pieces to have this truly be the epic year that you deserve. All right? So let's take a minute, take a breath. And just imagine now that this rain shower of golden light and abundance and all the good things are pouring over you. The universe has heard your vision and has said yes to you and is pouring love onto you right here and right now. And I want you to think of the most important thing you're taking away from today. What's the most important thing you either heard or realized or that rose up within you? I want you to put that in the chat. What's your most important takeaway? Okay, we want to integrate. We ask this question here so we can integrate. Okay, what's the most important thing that you're taking away with you? All right. And we've got our next steps. We know what we're doing for the month with our new habit. We know what we're doing before bed tonight. We know that we're going to be together the week of the 13th and 22nd and on January 22nd. Yes, I love this. Okay. And then we're going to dance it out. All right. We're going to dance out this vision so that we bring in the joy, we bring in the love, and imagine that the universe, what if you walked around all year? And we're going to start with today. And that's what we're going to dedicate this song to dedicating. And Jill, if you could cue up Sarah Bareilles Brave. Okay. And we are going to dance it out to what if the universe has already said yes to all of it? You get to have all of it. Every single thing that you desire, every single thing you wrote down, every single thing that is coming to you, like Julie is saying, letting our dreams come true. This is your dream come true year, beyond your wildest dreams year. And you already have a yes.